us, the process starts with the recruiters. Our recruiters in-house ask the exact same 10 questions of every candidate so that you can get an objective measure of how they answer the exact same questions. And then from there, we whittle it down to the ones that we want to bring in for on-site interviews. The interview panel changes, but you always have team members they're going to be working with at same level and above level, because we want to test them to see where their level of expertise runs out on something. And we also, in the data center, there's fundamentally two teams. There's the facility or the data center operations team, and then there's the IT operations team. And we'll ask a person from the IT operations team to be on the interview panel, not to test them about what they know about networking or about sysadmin or whatnot, but to test them about how they're going to fit in with the culture. There's two very different demographics generally. The facility operations team or the data center ops guys tend to be a little bit more experienced, a little bit more mature in their careers. The IT operations teams tend to be very young in their careers. And so you've got these two populations at the data center that have to work together to accomplish what is necessary to run the business. And it can be, if you don't have the right type of cultural fit, it can be a point of tension. And so that's one way that we've successfully been able to integrate people and weed out the people that generally won't work, is to have someone from outside of their domain. And like you said, it's always interesting to watch a person that's maybe an HVAC mechanic being interviewed by an electrical engineer or an electrical technician about something outside of their domain. But we're looking for their thought process more than really whether they're a certified electrician or they might not know anything about it, but they could walk you through a troubleshooting methodology, and then you can get an idea of whether they're going to fit in with the culture. And for us, we want all of our technicians and critical facility managers ideally on board at a new facility at 6 months before the facility ready date. So during that 6 months, they're working on the procedural development, they're working on training on the equipment, they're getting trained at other data centers, so they'll visit other live data centers and spend time in the operations environment to know what the requirements are for them. And then they're also part of the commissioning team. So we do most of our own commissioning. We have some commissioning agents that we work with to help from staff augmentation, but we write our own scripts, and the operations teams are doing most of the actual hands-on manipulation themselves, because hopefully you never get to recommission that facility, and so that's the best time to learn. So we have
no doubt.
We have them on board, and people always ask me, it's like, how do you get budgetary approval to bring a person on board their job 6 months before they really need to be doing their job? And it ultimately came down to, like anything else, it's a total cost of ownership question. And what is the risk or the opportunity cost of having that equipment in place and not being maintained properly? What is the training cost of having less than highly trained and highly capable people running a live data center? And we can point to the statistics in the industry that more than 70% of typical data center failures are human error caused. And so how do you drive that down, and what is the cost to the business of driving, or what is the benefit to the business of driving down those human error chances? And it turns out that all of that makes it kind of a no-brainer.